This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place? The taco place? Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cars are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN Live is presented by our title sponsor, RoadPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our major sponsors, Jackson's, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise, and the Blue and Orange store. For more coverage of Boise State athletics, check out the all-new BroncoNationNews.com, now part of the 247 Sports family. Now, here's five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Bronco Nation? Welcome on into a live edition of Bronco Nation Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. My name is BJ Rains. It's Monday, and means we got our man Brad Bedell joining us, former Boise State offensive line coach, Auburn, number of places, former NFL draft pick. And Brad, appreciate you joining us on the post-game show. And now we've had 36 hours or so, and here we are to break it all down again. We got an interesting quote from Dan Mullen going to play. Don't know if you've heard that. But a lot to get to today. How are we?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Some unfortunate news I wanted to start with, though, is the passing of Doug Martin, former Boise State running back, was only 36. There's some reports coming out about what happened, but Doug Martin suddenly passing away at the age of 36. And I know when Brad, your path didn't cross with him, but I know, I have a photo where Nate Potter's, blocking for him, and obviously Winston and this community, obviously, he was a guy that, here's the photo, right, by the way, I'll put up on the screen. I mean, there's Kellen Moore handing it off to Doug Martin, and there's Nate Potter blocking for him, and they're playing Nevada I saw a lot of folks saying maybe they wish they'd wear these helmets in this exact combo on Friday night in honor of Doug. But Doug Martin, integral part of that 50-3 stretch they had with Kellen Moore, was obviously a first-round draft pick. Went on, was an All-Pro in the NFL. And anytime it's, any former player, Brad, anybody tied to the community, it's certainly a sad deal. But a lot of people certainly knew and followed the career of Doug Martin. This was a tough one to hear yesterday.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's just it's always hard, when you get guys that come through your football program. They're legendaries. A lot of them, I would put him, Kellen Moore, they deserve statues. And it's you always go back and you always like, God, what a great run, what a great guy. But it just takes time like this to really think about him again and what he meant to Boise State and the fan base and things like that. And it's just it's a tragic news you never want to hear, especially at such a young age. So
yeah, no doubt. And like I said, there are some reports starting to come out. We'll have to wait for more details and autopsy and all that stuff. But there are some different reports and news outlets out there and things that there was an unexpected medical emergency or unspecified medical emergency. He died in the hospital. He became unresponsive following an arrest by officers who were responding to reports of a possible break-in. So you can go online and read the whole story on Google, but it's very unfortunate and sounds like there was call for a break-in and then a medical emergency happened. And then he was in the back of the police car and then was having like I said, the medical emergency. The reports say he then went to the hospital and then unfortunately passed away there. So again, you can Google it and kind of get more. There's still a lot of unanswered questions out there, but certainly Doug Martin was a guy to this community that meant a big deal. He had been living in Meridian, for a while. I don't know if he had moved back because this did happen in the Oakland area, but I know that he had moved back locally for a while, and he had come back and raised the Blue Chaos flag last season, I believe, maybe for the first game, or was in Boise for that, and has been at some of the spring games and events and things. So has been but certainly in terms of running backs at this school, you want to talk about Ashton Jeanty and everything else. I mean, he kind of paved the way being that first running back to be a first round pick, and was, there's been a lot of great running backs at Boise State, and he was certainly one of the best. And part of that, run they had where it ended up being McNichols and Ajayi and Madison. And now, you go into everybody else with Jeanty and who knows who's next, but he was certainly one of the guys that paved the way for a Boise State running back to be able to go on and have a career in the NFL.
Yeah, he started the stable, essentially. If you go back, he started the run.
There were some guys before him that had a shot and a chance, but certainly not at his level of being a first round. The pick.
Exposure, the run of drafted running backs. He's just, it's just a, I don't want to talk about everything else about it. I'd rather let the facts come out as they may, and that's what him and his family deserve.
Yeah.
And it's just time to reflect on the person and what he's done for the Boise area and things like that. So, yeah, my thoughts are with everybody. It's just a sad day for the Boise faithful.
No doubt about it. Now, he did appear, as I said, on a BNN After Dark episode with Winston Venable, and originally the episode was unlisted for paying subscribers, but I'm going to go back and make that public for everybody to be able to see. But there were a couple of clips that recirculated on social media yesterday from that interview, and I wanted to play one clip, and ironically, he talks about Jeff Choate, who's now the Nevada coach going into the game in Reno this week. But this was, Brad, a story about when Boise State played up in the Kibbe Dome against the University of Idaho. I believe it was 2010, maybe it was 2011, but it was this is a story that he told to Winston and John Mallory and I just a couple years ago.
Yeah. Oh, we got the.
Oh yeah. Well, hold on, Doug. Hold on.
This is exactly the hammer that I slammed in the middle of the the field that day, right here.
Did you guys know that he did that?
This is it.
No.
Doug, tell the story, man. Tell the story, bro.
Story is right. Okay, we're at the can. We call it can because that's what it looks like, and it's pregame. We're in the locker room, and then Coach Choate, It was a special teams coach at the time. I think linebackers coach. I'm not
Got
sure.
to hear this.
Special teams. And he comes with a Vandals helmet and he lights it on fire, right? He lights the little helmet on fire. We're in the shower. Everybody's hyped. He puts the little helmet, it's on fire, on the shower floor. And then he said, Doug, smash the helmet. So I take the hammer and I go, ah! And I smash the helmet. So I'm already hyped, right? I'm already hyped. We're not even on the field and everybody's just going crazy, right? So we get on the field. We get to the field. We get to about to run on the field. We run, whatever. Ellis is with me. And 10 is on the other side. I believe there's a picture right there. And they said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I go on the midfield. And then I'll do the same thing what I did to that helmet. I took it and I said, ah! And then I turn around and then I drop the hammer on the table like it was a mic. And I turn around I look back to the midfield and everybody is in the middle of the field about to fight. Everybody's there in the mid back about to fight. And I was like, oops.
I was going to say, what'd Coach Pete think of that?
Oh, wait, there's more. So we're kicking off to them, and they're returning it. They catch the ball on the kick return, and they take it all the way back and score. Coach Pete looked at me like, yo, you better show up or it's going to be your ass.
Yeah, now it's on you.
You better not lose or it's going to be your ass. He gave me that look. I was like, oh, yeah,
Well, one of the many stories of Doug Martin, that is a legendary story when they're playing the Idaho Vandals, the rival. He goes and slams the helmet, not only in the locker room while it's privately, Brad, but he goes to midfield and does the sledgehammer right at the 50-yard line on the Idaho Vandals logo, and that was one of the many great stories that I know was circulating yesterday that folks were talking about Doug. So
That is wild.
Does it surprise you that Jeff Choate would be the one to light that on fire?
Not one bit. Not one bit. Just, I could see, Doug and Choate getting along very well, to be honest with you. Choate's, he's wild now. This is a great week. This is just a great week, and it's just not a great week because what we're talking about. How about just that video just sums up what Boise and Nevada, and it's like another one. Like I've never seen that clip, and I've been around this program for a while now, and that's one of the things I was talking about. And it's nothing like that. It's like people want to talk about people talk about people when they're gone, and rather than when they're here, right? Does that make sense? And just kind of wish that you talk more about and how great people are when they're here, and send a text about how you appreciate them and things like that, rather than let's talk about somebody when they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just hard. Yep. It's hard.
Yep.
Hard to take.
Well, very sad news, and certainly thinking about Doug Martin's family and everybody, all of his friends, everybody impacted about this. Again, I showed the photo. I'll throw it up here again. There's Nate Potter, Boise State's offensive coordinator, blocking for him right there as he runs by against Nevada. Certainly a lot of people around the program still connected to him. And wouldn't it be a cool tribute? I know they already picked the uniforms, that if there was a way to get that retro helmet on the retro logo on the helmet for this week, that would be kind of cool if they could maybe sport this look, kind of almost in honor of him on Friday night against Nevada. But I'm sure they'll have a decal maybe on the back of the helmet or something with the number 22. But Doug Martin, 36, gone way too soon, but certainly left a legacy and a number of memories that Boise State fans will have forever, Brad. Let's talk about the game against UNLV on Saturday. Dan Mullen with an interesting quote that I want to play here in a minute, but I know we talked on the postgame about it, Brad, but just overall, now you've had a day and a half to kind of sit on it. 56-31. What were your biggest takeaways from the win?
I think the biggest takeaway, you saw a big change in coverage. There was quite a bit of zero, a lot of man. They got after the quarterback. They tried to get after the quarterback. He did get out of the pocket a couple of times, and there were some explosive plays in the passing game on Boise, but that's what you're going to get when you're playing zero. And they got after him a little bit. Now, Nate did a good article that they blitzed over 60% of the time. So Dan Mullen.
Well, I got the clip. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah. And then offensively, just another great performance. They run the ball unbelievably well. Did have some explosive plays in the passing game. And fake punt. A lot of people are like, what was the score and the fake punt and all that. I don't care. I said has to be a mission. This has to be a statement game for Boise, talking about it, where UNLV needs to understand there's a pecking order in the Mountain West, and it's not UNLV. It's not. And so they wanted to think they were it. They were the team. They're the premier team in the Mountain West because they're undefeated. Well, they're undefeated because their strength of schedule was not great. And so we talked about it in the pregame. They got tested. This is the first time UNLV had to go on the road to a big opponent and are they going to be resilient enough when they get smacked in the mouth to respond? And they were not. Now, the first half, it was close. Give them that. It was close. But I just think this staff continues to do such a great job at halftime, with some adjustments, some having an understanding it's 0-0, and we're going to go out and put 30 on them. And so when your offense is putting 40 a game, it gives your defense a lot of wiggle room to do what they want. And I think the staff's doing a great job of that. And the players are, And then we can talk about the penalties. And I thought, good point. They had a personal foul, and they benched him. And we talked about it in the post game for the series. And so you're starting to see, like, okay, how are they going to make these changes? Is Spencer that kind of guy? Well, they benched him. And so I think that was a statement. And you hit it, I didn't realize that in the post game, is they scored on the drive he was out, right? And so now I think the players, what a great learning lesson. It didn't cause the game for them to lose or anything like that, but it's like, okay, I'm going to bench you. And they scored. So that's on you. We need you. Do you understand? You have got to play Boise State football, and that's not a bunch of personal fouls. So
Yep.
What a great lesson for the team. And the players talk about that in the locker room. So
yeah. Hey, he's Brad Bedell, former Boise State offensive line coach, former Auburn assistant coach. By the way, BSU Bill Brad says, I know you probably won't acknowledge it, but it has to bring a big smile to your face watching Auburn fans freak out and call for Hugh Freeze to be fired.
Auburn needs to look at themselves in the mirror and stop blaming head coaches. Have Auburn do that, and then they can move on in life. Because you're recruiting. I mean, we couldn't recruit, but we won games, right? We had them ranked, stuff like that. Hugh Freeze is getting all the 5-star guys and all this. We talked about this last week. Hugh Freeze is now the setup coach. Congratulations. Stop firing coaches.
Bronco 130 says, I think Brad Bedell is great. I want him to know that.
Oh, I appreciate it.
There you go. All right. You mentioned appreciate. We love having Brad on Mondays. Brad, you mentioned the blitzing. I'll see if I can get this clip to work. Here's courtesy of Steve Cofield, one of the sideline reporters, does a great job. ESPN Las Vegas down there. He posted this to Twitter. Here is a bite from Dan Mullen after the game.
Not good enough, obviously. In the run game, we hit some runs there, and made a couple throws, missed some protection. They did a nice job of their blitz package. They were blitzing a lot more than they normally do. I think it's a good sign of respect, I guess. I figured they couldn't kind of line up and play against us, so they had to really change things up defensively. But I think our guys.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stop it there for a second. Sign of respect to UNLV that Boise State had to blitz so much. When again they led the nation last year in sacks, and then if you look at Nathan's post, which it's been all over Twitter, they actually blitzed on 64% of dropbacks against New Mexico last week, and only 61% against UNLV. So if they watched the game against New Mexico just last week, they would have saw that Boise State blitzed more than they actually blitzed against UNLV yesterday. Let's hear part of that one more time.
Respect, I guess. I figured a lot more than protection. They did a nice job of their blitz package. They were blitzing a lot more than they normally do. I think it's a good sign of respect, I guess. I figured they couldn't kind of line up and play against us, so they
couldn't line up and play against us, Brad.
They really changed things up defensively, but I think
so. They really had to change things up defensively by blitzing so much. One more time, just to make sure we all understand exactly what he's trying to say here.
Package, they were blitzing a lot more than they normally do. I think it's a good sign of respect, I guess. I figured they couldn't kind of line up and play against us, So they had to really change things up defensively. But I think our guys handled it at times with some of the adjustments, but some of the negative yardage plays kind of hurt you at different times. And some of those mistakes, obviously, you can't make.
Your thoughts on Dan Mullen's comments there, Brad?
There's a thing called film, and you can actually watch them. It's an amazing concept. That's why you're in the office till midnight, till 1 a.m. And for him to say they weren't going to line up and play us, if you ask Spencer, they'll put the ball down on the 50-yard line in a cement parking lot and still beat the ever-living crap out of you. That's the way this all goes. Don't come after a game and say they didn't want to just line up and play against us. Offensively, they stuffed the ball down your throat, and they didn't exactly do it with a bunch of trick plays and a bunch of stuff that they've never seen before. And to be honest with you, the tailback missed 2 cutbacks that went for about 60. So it's just I don't like it when coaches come back and go, well, they just didn't sign a respect, things like that. No, Boise State blitzes. Now, are they? I also want to know: is he considered a blitz more than just one linebacker, which could be? That's how they term blitzes, and some guys people call them dogs. I don't understand it. It's one extra guy. Where I think he got it is Boise did some walk-up stuff and started popping linebackers and confusing the quarterback. And their quarterback, in my opinion, was not very well prepared in the game. And now Don Mullen thinks that it's because they couldn't line up and play us. Okay, cool.
But a sign of respect, too, for UNLV that Boise State's defense had to change things up of what they do defensively.
No, you know what it is? Boise State came out and put Boise State in a better position to win the game by whatever they won it by. And your team wasn't as prepared. Fact. So now you're going to have to say they changed things up when, if you really look at it, they didn't change much up besides a little bit more showing cover zero. And UNLV did the same thing. They showed some zero, and they attacked the perimeter and some man schemes and got it.
Just for fun, Brad, I'd like to play part of this just one more time because for Dan Mullen, it was just such a great quote.
They did a nice job with their blitz package. They were blitzing a lot more than they normally do. I think it's a good sign of respect, I guess. I figured they couldn't kind of line up and play against us. So they had to really change things up defensively. But I think
they had to really change things up. Man, it is amazing that Eric Shenander just devised a whole new game plan of what they haven't done all season long just because they knew UNLV's offense was that damn good.
As a matter of fact, they called Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick said, you got to blitz them more. That's not true, so don't. It was a joke. But does Dan Mullen also understands that, there's a good chance they're going to be playing in the championship game against Boise State. So you may want to just watch what you say and give credit and move on. Don't all of a sudden say, oh, we're so much better that they had to change up and they just wouldn't line up and play against us. Okay, well, don't let your post-game press conference bite you in the butt the second time either.
Yeah, because remember that, and Boise State's media team, they're a little savage too. Like, it wouldn't shock me if that clip played during the video board at some point if they played in the championship game, because they when the quarterback said he didn't know where Boise was on a map last year, and they put a whole graphic together and showing where it was on a map and stuff, like that certainly is one. And somebody said, Sky says, I got to ask Shenander about this in the press conference today. What do you think? I might bring that up just for fun. What do you think Eric's response would be? Maybe his real response in the press or his response over a beer might be two different things.
Might be two different things, but to the press, it's like, hey, we improvised our game plan. We thought this game plan would be best to put our kids in a better situation to win the game, and the players executed it well, and we won, and now we're moving on to Nevada. You're going to get some pretty good coaching talk.
I might ask it though, just for fun, to see if Eric's in a good mood. I mean, it was a nice win, and defense is playing well. He might He might have a little fun with it. Who knows?
Yeah. I hope he does. I mean, it's the time to do it. But
I mean, I don't know which part is like more. I mean, it's almost somewhat I don't know if disrespectful is the right word, but it's also just like to say to just be factually wrong that they're not blitzing way more than they usually do. They literally blitzed more in the previous game than they just did against them. So he's just factually wrong. And then to say, oh, it's a sign of respect that they had to change up their entire defense for us. It's almost disrespectful to like Eric Shenander and the defensive players like this be like, yeah, they had to do it differently than they normally do just to compete with us.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Well, it's almost like you're just trying to boost your players up through the media when that should be talked to behind closed doors today or yesterday, whoever, I don't know what their schedule is, but whenever they met with the kids and go, hey guys, they didn't blitz us. We weren't prepared. You just say something like that. Don't say it in the media. It makes no sense to me. None.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
Andrew's saying we beat their blank and it could have been worse if we didn't muff a punt. If he thought we don't blitz, he didn't have his team ready, and that shows.
Exactly. The first play of the game was a pressure. It was a sack.
Yeah.
Scores.
Well, we all know why that was, because I've been calling for it. Fans been calling for it. They finally brought back good old Mo Bamba, had the bass going there, and the crowd was into it, and you get the sack on first down. I'm gonna take a little credit for that, and I don't think it's a coincidence. Mo Bamba's back, and the defense dominated out there.
Yeah, it was a really good game. I think.
Are you a Mo Bamba guy? Come on, Brad. Don't change the subject here. Are you a Mo Bamba guy?
Yeah, it's cool, I guess.
All right, good. You've seen the Penn State one before, right? The video
Correct.
where they did. Yeah.
Correct. I think the crowd. The other thing is let's go. So we got after the Boise fan base a little bit. The AD did and all that. Now they come back, answer how many false starts did New Mexico?
4 false starts, I believe, 7 penalties.
And one of them on a third down, which resulted in them punting. There
was a fourth and 2, I think. They were going to go for it near midfield and then had to punt. Yep.
Correct. I give that one to the fans. That is a fan. So they answered the bell. And like I said, I'll criticize anybody, but you also got to give respect when respect's deserved. And the Boise fan base, it was loud. It was loud.
It was electric. It was a fun atmosphere and a fun day, and I thought they did a really good job with the. And I know this is kind of in the weeds thing, but I thought they played good. Like I said, good music that had good bass and had the crowd into it. And I thought in between plays, I thought that aided and that the crowd brought it from in the 1:30 start time and not a cloud in the sky, and it was a perfect day. And we mentioned Boise State needing to get off to a nice start. You mentioned the sack on first down. You get the 3 and out, and then the Boise State offense comes down and scores, and it was just kind of on after that.
I agree. It was just Prater said it, which you wanted to see some complimentary football, and you saw it, So I think this is a good game at the right time. So now that he's got a consistency, right? Consistency. You want to see the same performancing going here on out, and really to a Nevada rival game that you got to go on the road in a short week. In a Nevada team that has really, it's been down a little bit, and that's a game. They're wounded dogs, so you better jump on them in a hurry. And trust me, he's going to get them ready. This is a game where I feel you take the records out of it. This is a game that it's an emotional game. Choate is an emotional head coach. This is a game where you take the records out of it.
And they looked a little more competent at times against New Mexico the other night. I got home in time to watch the second half of that game. They had a real chance to win at New Mexico. They had a couple of plays late, but they had a real chance to win that game.
I agree. And we'll see what happens with them. But a Friday night, it's going to be interesting. Friday night game. There's a lot of things going on at Boise, and so it's hopefully
Eric Church concert. You talking about?
Well, you got the Eric Church concert. You've got Timberline and Eagle are playing. You got district championships going on in high school football on Friday night, and that's going to determine your state playoff seeding. So there's a lot of great football going on in Boise, Idaho on Friday night, and not to mention.
Well, luckily this is a road game, so it's not like it'll impact the crowd. It just may impact how many people are watching on TV for part of the game.
Well, that or if they were going to jump in the car and go to Nevada, but now we got to play Friday night now and. The Eric Church concert, you could take that one out of it because that's been on the docket for a long time.
Yeah.
But I like where this team is at. I like the physical aspect of this football team right now. I think their coaches are doing a real good job getting them prepared for the week. Now, there were some guys get banged up. I don't know the extent on injuries, but some guys left the game, and so they got to get some kids healthy. It just came out. I felt that game they kind of got banged up a little bit. And so we'll have to see where it's at, especially at the wide receiver position. Ford. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
that was a tough
I don't
one
know.
to see. That was a tough one to see with Ben Ford. We'll probably get more information today from Spencer Danielson, a guy that's literally missed the whole season just 2 seasons ago because of an injury. It didn't look good. Spencer Danielson said obviously didn't look good in the post game. Zion Washington was on the field in a boot after the game as well, starting safety. So we'll have to get some injury updates this week. The spread is like 22 points though, Brad. I mean, Vegas doesn't think this game will be close.
No, yeah, I don't think they're giving Nevada
3
much.
touchdown favorites to Boise State going into this one.
Probably about right. I mean, Vegas hadn't Vegas didn't like UNLV either because they knew the strength of schedule. Those guys. There's a reason why there's a lot of lights and cool stuff in Las Vegas because they don't get it wrong very often.
No,
they do not.
By the way, Sky says, I got to deny this rumor here. Folks said BJ was dancing to Mo Bamba in the media box. I may have been kind of, all right, here we go. I may have done a little head nod, but I was not, I don't know wherever this source came from. There's no dancing in the press box. I can't dance to begin with, so I certainly would not have been dancing. But I'm not going to lie, man. First play of the game after the kickoff, the crowd's hyped after the kickoff, and right away that base hits for Mo Bamba. I loved it. I thought it was perfect. Set the tone, and I probably had a little head nod going a little bit, Brad. I thought it was perfect use of Mo Bamba, and they brought it back 4 or 5 times. And what do you know? The defense dominates.
Yeah, I mean, you feel it. It's the game. It's awesome. It's why you're there. It's why you're covering it.
Yeah, I got busted. According to Linda, I got busted, I guess. Hey, we got to meet Jen C on the pregame show. That was fun. Jen C was she's a big commenter. She won our giveaway of the Shields gift card, which hate to break it to folks, which we have record viewership today. Already 811 people on here, Brad, including over 175 watching on YouTube alone right now. You're probably all on here for the Shields gift card, and we're gonna have to give that away tomorrow because due to the Doug Martin unfortunate passing and some other things, I didn't get a chance to pull all the names and get everything ready. So the Shields gift card, courtesy of Signature Roofing, will be on tomorrow's show, which means you get 1 extra day if you want to try to get in a voicemail. But we will give that away tomorrow. But we did get a chance to meet Jen C, and I believe the young lady's name is Janice. I believe Janice is the one we saw in the post-game show that has been donating to your swear jar. And she tried to – I love Janice, but anytime she walks up, Brad, trying to shake my hand, I know it's not just a regular handshake. She's trying to give you she's trying to help the cause for BNN, so to speak. But I made sure that I took care of our intern, Mateo. We actually had 2 folks that for some reason were nice enough and said, we want to support what you guys are doing at BNN. And they 2 people just made donations like at the table. It was very thankful, but unnecessary. But I made sure I turned around and gave that to our intern, Mateo, and took care of our intern that was helping set everything up that night. But that was very nice of Janice to help us out.
Awesome. Just great people to be around. It's always good to get them out to the James and support. And it's fun. It's a
couldn't have asked for better weather on Saturday either.
Huh?
Couldn't have asked for better weather on Saturday either, pregame or postgame.
Awesome.
Postgame was awesome. The patio was packed and the sun was going down. It was perfect time out there. And it was a fun postgame show. And you and Kent behaved yourselves very well and it was a fun, overall fun Saturday out there on the Blue and at the James.
It's fantastic. Hopefully the Fresno game won't be at 7 or 8 at night. I don't know. That should be announced today.
Can we get another 1:30? Can we even a 5 o'clock? I'd take for pregame, but I mean 7:45 is. There's positives and negatives to it. If I was just a regular old fan and my kid had a flag football game or something on a Saturday, or I could get my day done and then still get down at 3 o'clock and start tailgating or whatever, like I think there's some advantages to the later games. You also get to watch more games during the day at home or whatever if you want to watch other teams play and enjoy your Saturday. But if you have kids and whatever, and the game ending at 11:30, and by November 1st, it'll probably be a little cool at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, I don't know what the perfect start time is, Brad. Is it 1:30? I don't know. For me, it kind of took up my whole day. I mean, I had to get there at 9, and I didn't leave till 9, so it pretty much takes your whole day. But at least I got to bed at a semi-decent hour as opposed to these late games where I'm going to bed at 4 in the morning.
Right, but it's your job, so you got no choice.
All right, I know you got to get rolling here for a meeting. Any final quick thoughts from Brad Bedell on the win or the game against Nevada or where this team is at? Memphis losing? Are you at all keeping that playoff door open at all?
No, I think it's going to be good. I think it's starting to open up. I think just continue to win. Just continue to win. Continue to win. Continue to win.
Good.
and you'll
All
be
right,
fine.
you're on your meeting. We can hear your
think-
meeting, Brad. I got to let you roll. I don't want to
Yeah,
get
there's going to be a blow up here in the next 2 weekends. I just got a feeling. So just Boise continue to win. I just got a feeling there's going to be a blow up.
Can we just listen to the call there? And
unless you want to hear about a bunch of boring Nike and shoulder pad stuff.
All right, Brad. Thanks, man.
I love the swoosh.
Appreciate you.
See ya.
Brad Bedell letting us live stream his company meeting there for about 20 seconds. How about that? Appreciate. Gotta love Brad Bedell. But yeah, he had a meeting at 9:30 today, so he had to go a little bit early. So you guys are stuck with me. I'll keep this thing going as long as you want us to keep it going and talk Boise State. The game coming up on Friday. Going to be a busy week for Bronco Nation News. We're heading to Las Vegas on Wednesday. We've got basketball media days for the Mountain West on Thursday. Thursday morning, you're not going to want to miss it. 9 a.m., we're going to be live for like 4 straight hours. And we're going to talk to every head coach in the Mountain West. And then we're going to talk to the commissioner of the Mountain West, and we're going to talk to some other media members. We're going to have a 4-hour live stream on Thursday talking Mountain West basketball and Boise State basketball. So we'll have Steve Alford and Brian Dutcher and all the coaches on. And like I said, it's going to be a fun Thursday from I think it's at Resorts World down there in Las Vegas. We'll, of course, be staying at Circa. But Resorts World basketball media days on Thursday. And then you have I think Friday morning it is. We'll fly over to Reno and have the football game on Friday, and then hopefully another win to talk about for Boise State. So still need to clean up the dumb penalties. Men's basketball was fun Friday night. Drew Fielder is a great addition. Yeah, if anybody went to the game Friday night, I thought it was a fun crowd. Ended up being a really nice crowd. Good-sized crowd, fun Friday night. Broncos played well. Did have the unfortunate, I don't know if anybody was there and noticed it, had the unfortunate they were having a moment of silence, I believe, for Coach Munson passing away at Idaho, or maybe for Julian Bowie's father. And it just happened to be at the exact time that the Mariners hit a grand slam to take the lead in the game. And there was a couple of folks throughout the arena that had their phones out, and you heard a couple people yell grand slam or cheer during the moment of silence. And it was just awful timing, horrible coincidence. It was a very, somber moment there. And then the grand slam happens. It's one of the greatest moments in the history of the Seattle Mariners franchise. And there were a couple people that I heard in the crowd that kind of couldn't contain themselves. But that was a heck of a night for the Mariners. Unfortunately, could not win last night. And now you have Game 7 tonight for the Mariners. How about this if you're a Seattle sports fan? I believe the Kraken play tonight at 4 o'clock Pacific time. You have, all right, so we'll go Mountain time. 5 o'clock for the Kraken. 6 o'clock for the Mariners, Game 7, and then 8 o'clock Mountain Time is Monday Night Football with the Seahawks. So if you happen to be a Seattle sports fan, take off work and start drinking now, man. That's going to be a heck of a day and time for you guys tonight. And could it be one of the greatest days in the history of the Seattle sports scene if the Mariners win Game 7 tonight and get to their first World Series ever? I mean, tough to beat a Super Bowl championship, but maybe if they get to the World Series and get to play the Dodgers, that would be awesome. So I'll be watching tonight. I got to see the Tust family yesterday. Jay Tust, his wife Camille, the kiddos, they came over yesterday afternoon. We had some folks over watching football. It was great to hang out with Jay Tust and the kiddos and see them for a little bit. So I can confirm that Jay takes a little bit of time off. Jay took at least an hour and a half off because he brought the family over to the house, and we had a little bit of fun hanging out with the Tust family yesterday. So it was good to see Jay, and better to see Camille and the kiddos. See Jay way too much as it is. But guy saying, Todd and I saw the grand slam during the moment of silence. Pretty sure we were quiet. So you're not the culprit. Okay. But that was a great night. Drew Fielder, 24 points, 8 rebounds in 23 minutes. I mean, he looks great. I mean, I know it's Idaho. I know the final score was only 6, and I commend Boise State fans because I have not seen one person say, oh, they only beat Idaho by 6, and even the Leon Rice haters, I was totally expecting somebody to say, oh, they only beat Idaho by 6, this team's not going to be very good. But if you watch the game was never close. There was never a worry that Boise State was going to lose to Idaho. Boise State was subbing 5 guys in at a time, mixing things up, and they were winning by double digits most of the game. Idaho hit a couple threes late. The spread was only 6. But it was never a game if you were watching that game where you thought, oh my gosh, they might lose this. Boise State was clearly the better team, and they did that without Dylan Andrews, their point guard. UCLA transfer, didn't even play, and so AG Nato got a chance to play some serious minutes. And I thought overall it was just a fun night. The team looks like it's going to be exciting. Am I ready to, declare this a Sweet 16 team or Leon's best team ever, whatever? No, not going to go there. But it certainly looks like a team that's going to be fun to watch and have a chance to win a lot of games. And if you're a Boise State fan, that's really all you can ask at this point. So we will be heading down Wednesday to Media Days in Las Vegas, and then Thursday will be the Media Day. 9 a.m. on Thursday. We'll be broadcasting all 4 straight hours on Thursday, and then make our way to Reno for the football game on Friday. The Fresno game on November 1st, that will be announced today. So the Fresno game on November 1st, that will be announced today, probably before noon. You'll find that out, or around noon. They put that out sometimes around noon. Mountain West, for some reason, is always one of the last leagues to announce their start time. So we will find out the Fresno State time today, and that'll be at probably around noon, like I said. So what is the perfect game time for you guys? Put it in the chat there. Did you like the 1:30? Would you take the 10 a.m. to get it over with? Would you want the 5 o'clock or the 7:45? If those are your options, 10, 1:35, or 7:45. I'm curious from a fan's perspective. Now, you got to think about November 1st. Going to start to be a little bit chilly in the evenings. I didn't love the 1:30, but I didn't hate it because it took up my entire day. Like I said, I left my house at 9 and didn't get home till almost 9. So it's a pretty long day for me because you're there before and after. But at least I wasn't in the press box or whatever till 4 a.m. like I am some of these games that don't start till 7:45. All right, the responses are coming in here. Linda, 1:30. Stephanie Huffman says 5 p.m. Scott wants 1:30. Blake just says, give me an hour before sunset. Don't care what time that is. Melinda says 1:30 was awesome as a fan. Another 1:30. Surf City Bill, 1:30 was awesome for us because, then you at least get to go out to dinner and have your Saturday evening as well. Us in the media don't get that, but I understand as a fan's perspective, tailgate for a few hours, get down there, and then you have the rest of your evening off. And there end up being some good games to watch, too, later Saturday night. Blake's good with 5 o'clock. Mike M. wants 5. Guy says night games early in the season and then afternoon games late in the season. Robbie says 5 is great for the light show. Not the beginning of the game, but maybe after. Ashley works till 3, so she likes the later games and the night vibe. Folks want to tailgate, so they like the 5 o'clock. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but San Diego State, speaking of light shows, November 15th, the game at San Diego State, they're going to be doing a drone show. They're pulling out all the stops for the Boise State game. There will be a drone show at some point before the Boise State game, maybe halftime, pregame. I'm not really sure. But there will be a drone show if anyone's going to the San Diego State game as they try to pack that place for a big game. Dylan likes 5 o'clock. Golf fan commenting on a football show says football should start the old traditional 12 o'clock time, warmest time of the winter days. Sun in the eyes doesn't happen to the players. Being an hour away, hate getting home. 1 a.m. sucks. Yeah, the late games do suck. Not going to lie. Like I said, we do our 2-hour post-game show, and then I've got multiple stories to edit, post, things to do. I mean, when the game starts at 7:45, it's legitimately 4 a.m. when I'm going to bed. So I don't love those games either. But the only trade-off is I get to spend part of the Saturday with my family and watch some of the other games and don't have to go into work till, 3 o'clock or whatever on those days. So that's something to keep in mind for me that I don't mind either. But it looks like 1:30 or 5 is the 2 consensus. So we'll see if they're lucky enough. But I hate to tell you, folks, 2 teams, Fresno being West Coast. I don't have a great feeling, certainly for 1:30. I could maybe see 5, but it wouldn't shock me if this is a 7:45 or so. Just be ready for that, I would say. I don't have any inside knowledge of that. I'm just guessing this point in the season. Two West Coast teams. Fresno's, okay, but not great this year. Boise State's got a couple losses. I unfortunately would not be shocked at all and would probably expect this to be another 7:45, which actually means 8 o'clock type of game. The playoffs are certainly not out of the picture. I would still say it's a very short, small percentage in terms of what the playoff picture is, but it's not dead. Certainly not dead. Not at all. Hey, Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. We appreciate Matt Bauscher. You can get more information online, BauscherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets. Stop by their tailgate. What a setup the Ridleys have there. Ridley's Family Markets, 13 locations in the state of Idaho. Find a location near you at ShopRidleys.com. Snake River Pool and Spa, patio and game, thespateam.com. Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa, been around since 1978. And if you're looking for that spa, they got you covered at thespateam.com. If you're joining us, hoping to have the raffle for Signature Roofing, I told you guys I apologize. A lot of stuff to do when you're just running a business, owning a business, getting 2 kids out the door for school, and just didn't have enough time in the day. I wanted to cut that clip of Doug Martin to play on the show, and just ran out of time to get everything ready for the raffle today. So tomorrow morning, we will do the raffle. Tomorrow will also probably be one of those 10 a.m., 10:30 shows because we have football practice in the morning. So going to make it out to practice tomorrow, and then we'll do the show at about 10:30. But we'll have, and I'm not wrapping up the show for today yet, by the way. We're going to keep it rolling here if you guys want to keep it rolling. But Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com, whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection, mysignatureroofing.com. They're sponsoring the Shields gift card, and we will give that away tomorrow. So if you are looking for the Shields gift card and you were one of the ones that left us a voicemail, we will get to that on tomorrow's show. I apologize for not getting it done easier today. D-Race is glad the fans took advantage of the mulligan. Yeah, the fans brought it. I was a little critical. The AD was critical. The coach was critical. I mean, it was not a great look last week, but certainly the fans brought it. It was packed. It was loud. I give Boise State's marketing department some credit. I thought they played good songs. They had good bass when the Broncos were on defense. I thought they aided in the crowd. I know it can be tough. Some of those timeouts, there's a lot of games and things, sponsored segments. And it sometimes can be tough to keep the energy up for 60 minutes, but I thought they did a pretty good job with the music and things and having everybody ready to go. And the fans responded, and some of the students left. Certainly it wasn't a full student section in the second half, but it was much better than the previous game. And they gave away some Amazon gift cards and things for fans that stuck around until the second half. So I thought that was cool. I do agree with Andrew here. I mean, it was pretty dicey. There was 10 minutes till kickoff, and there were a lot of open seats. And I do think part of that was the 1:30 start time. Fans were, still tailgating and still drinking and not ready to hurry into the stadium. So it took probably half the first quarter for that thing to fill out. But it did. It filled up. It was full. But there was a late arriving crowd because fans were in the parking lots not wanting to leave, and they wanted to keep tailgating, and I don't blame them at that point. We doing anything in Vegas? I don't know the answer to that, Michael. We may do Friday morning show. As of now, I'm not flying up to Reno till like noon on Friday since the game's not till 7:30 Pacific time. We may do a show Friday morning from there. Thursday, we'll be doing the Resorts World broadcast, but I don't think fans can get in there. Might be hanging out at Circa Thursday evening, Thursday night football. Don't know, but since there's really not a Boise State game down there, I wouldn't expect there to be a lot of Boise State fans unless yourself or whoever lives down there. So we'll see, but I wouldn't expect anything for this trip probably. Blake says north end zone expansion going to be help getting people into the stadium faster. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yes, they finally did play Mo Bamba. We've talked about that, Tyree. Yeah, that was huge. That was awesome. Love to hear it. I thought they played it at the perfect time going out there for the first play of the game, and believe it was a tackle for loss or a sack on the first play, and got the crowd hyped up, and it just kind of rolled into the next play and the rest of the game. Getting into the stadium isn't exactly a speedy process. Agree with that. And when you don't have the extra entrance this year because of the North End Zone project, that is certainly not helping. And they've asked over and over again to give yourself an extra 10, 15 minutes, get there a little bit faster. I mean, they're doing the best they can this year. And I do think when that North End Zone gets done for next year, man, that's going to really help the noise, and that place is going to be rocking, and even more than it already is. And every day you show up, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, even for practice and things, I show up and look at that place, and they make noticeable progress every single week. And it's getting exciting to see what that thing's looking like and how cool it's going to be coming into next year. But that certainly will help, I think, with the entrances into the stadium is once that extra entrance is up. But let's see here on the hoop side. Will Dylan Andrews be a true manager of the game? If yes, Leon's team could be very legit. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be one of their best players. And yeah, I watched him at practice a couple of times, and he's very quick, can get to the basket at will, has a pretty good outside shot too. I mean, this was a guy 2 years ago was a double-digit scorer at UCLA. In the Big Ten, averaged double figures. His scoring went down a little bit last year because they kind of changed his role and changed the offense and asked him to do some different things. But I think that Dylan Andrews is going to be a major part of this team. And you saw what Nato can do as the backup point guard getting some minutes. So that was not, I mean, again, they basically tried to find 2 even groups and let these 5 play, and then these 5 play, and then these 5 play. And so it wasn't like it was, they've got 10 deep that can probably deserve to play, and that's what you saw, but it wasn't the rotation they would normally use in a game because a lot of those guys, Drew Fielder didn't even start. I mean, the guy had 24 points, 8 rebounds in 23 minutes and didn't even start. He came off the bench. So I think that's all all you need to know about that. So I think the basketball team's in a good spot. They have the secret scrimmage against Washington this week, and so we'll see if we can find some details about that. And we're 2 weeks from tomorrow, is it? 2 weeks from tomorrow? First game, or is it 2 weeks from tonight? It is, what is it? 2 weeks from, is it the 3rd or the 4th? I believe it's the 3rd, so I think it's 2 weeks from tonight is the first game of the season. The crane, we were talking about that in the press box. I think the crane's going to come down in a couple weeks. They told us October, I believe. They said during the season. So I would suspect the crane is not going to be up there much longer. Once they get all the heavy stuff moved, I think that the crane will be coming down in the near future. They told us it would not be up the whole season, so it should be going down at some point here in the near future. So there's a chance maybe with a road game that it'll be done before the next home game. I don't know. I'll ask on that. UNLV just lost their scrimmage to Washington. I did see that, Kip. I saw that. So that's interesting. We'll have to see what the but again, even in the private scrimmage, these scores come out, but it doesn't, they still don't do things how they normally would. I saw BYU, who's a top 10 team, lost to Nebraska, but apparently it was a last-second shot, and BYU didn't have any of their starters in the game for the last shot. So you can't put too much stock into the preseason stuff. Was kind of shocked the Fielder didn't start. We need that combo against him. I mean, he's a starter. If it was a real game, he would have started. That's my point, is to show you that it's not – they wanted to have an even first team and an even second team when they sub so guys could play. And so if you put all your 5 starters out there, then you're putting in, 5 bench players when you sub in. So they kind of had, 2 or 3 starters start and 2 or 3 starters on the bench, and then – that's how they did it. So I wouldn't put any, he is a starter. He's going to be maybe their best player. So that just shows you that an exhibition game, you're going to mix it up with the lineups and things because you want to have, different guys out there the whole time. So that's why I wouldn't put too much stock at all into Boise State only beating Idaho by 6. Blake says if you're going in 40 minutes early, it only takes 5. If you wait and go in 30 minutes early, it can take 20. So yeah, the earlier you go in, the better. I think that's a fair way to say it. And I know Boise State's been asking folks to go in early. Some of them have listened to that and abided by that. Some of you haven't. And if you haven't, you're usually the ones that are stuck out there missing the opening kickoff because you wanted to have that extra beer in the parking lot and didn't make it in time. Hey, let's take a couple more sponsors here while we're at it. RowPaint.com, our title sponsor. Andy Rowe and Company, ROEPaint.com, Rowe Painting. And we appreciate Andy Rowe, Rowe Paint, for his support of Bronco Nation News and ICCU, Idaho Central Credit Union. Branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile eBranch online banking right there in your smartphone. Hopefully you got the shirts they were passing out. They were passing out some shirts at ICC, and we appreciate them right out there on the patio before the game. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. We appreciate them. SON Management Group, the Nicolason family. We appreciate Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. Hey, Jackson's $12.99 for the trading cards. Sorry, I'm texting Andy Rowe because I forgot to send him the link. All right, not sure if he's going to join us or not, but I just texted Andy the link and I forgot to send it to him, so I apologize for that. $12.99 Jackson's trading cards. You can pick those up from our friends at Jackson's, and today's the day. Today is the day. Who's going to Jackson's to get a Latrell Caples? Tell them you heard about it on Bronco Nation News when you're doing this. 49 cents today. Latrell Caples scores the touchdown, and you get any size fountain drink for 49 cents. And that is from our friends at Jackson's, 49 cents. And that's today since he scored the touchdown on Saturday. So head on into Jackson's today and get that 49-cent soft drink. with your Let's Go Rewards app and tell them you heard about it on BNN. Blue and Orange Store, blueandorangestore.com. Appreciate the Blue and Orange Store for their support. Travis Hawks and Company. Make sure you pick up new Boise State gear at the Blue and Orange Store, whether it's the location there at the Hall of Fame, the location at the Boise Town Square Mall, or online at the blueandorangestore.com. Lithia Ford of Boise, they're online at lithiafordboise.com. You can check them out, and never a better time to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle from Lithia Ford of Boise. I think we'll be out there next week before the home game against Fresno for the next home game. So we appreciate them. And Rain's Family Love and RF-150, tremendously easy process. And if you want to go online, lithiafordboise.com, you can view their full inventory of vehicles. And that is our friends at Lithia Ford Boise. Looks like they got some shirts there. Tequila Gus got some. We picked up shirts for the kids. Thanks, ICCU. Yeah, those were cool shirts that they had there. I was walking in and saw them. They had the ICCU logo on the back, I think Boise State logo on the front. So I thought that was a pretty cool giveaway. Parolin looks good. Agree that he and Fielder down low at the same time will be great. Yeah, Parolin hit back-to-back three-pointers at one time. He had 7 points. Unsung guy that will come up big in conference play, vet and super tough. Yeah, played at Lehigh. You know, Boise State took him last year knowing he was going to have to sit out all year with the knee injury. Now he's a year older and back for his final year, ready to show that he's, hopefully going to play pro ball somewhere and wants to have a big year here after coming off his injury. Spencer Aarons looked good too. Yeah, he didn't get maybe quite as many minutes as some folks thought he might. He played some of that bonus game. I was surprised so many people left. The whole reason you went there was to watch the guys and see what they are, and you get an extra 8 minutes to do that, and everybody got up and left. There was like 5% of the crowd that stuck around, and they were mostly Idaho fans, and Idaho won the little extra game. They had the extra 8 minutes where the score didn't count. They restarted the score, restarted the stats. It was just an extra 8 minutes to get the bench players some playing time. And if I was a fan, that's the whole reason I went to the game, was to get a look at some of the newcomers and things like that. So a lot of them got in the game and then everybody left. I thought that was a little odd. I guess it was a Friday night at 9:00 and most people wanted to get on with their evening. But I mean, the whole reason you were there was to see those guys. And for an extra 10 minutes, I would have stayed and checked them out. But a lot of folks did leave. But I mean, we saw Ethan Lathan get in for that part of the game. We saw some other guys in there at that point. So I thought that it was a worthy of staying and almost just as important as the rest of the game to see some of those guys that don't play as much. Andrew says, I stayed. Prater too, saw Prater and said hi to him. Good to know that Prater stayed. Good for checking up on Prater there. That was crazy. Great to see the young guys. I agree. And yeah, Peanut was giving out the t-shirts. I agree. That was cool to see Peanut out there as part of his deal with ICCU. A couple other players were as well, I believe. San Diego State's defense, 0-13, 0-3, 24, and 10. Boise State offense is in trouble or expose a weak schedule and put 30 or more. I mean, I would tend to lean we just saw what happened with UNLV. They were 6-0. I mean, we saw that. I would tend to lean right now, although I haven't done a ton of diving into San Diego State. I would tend to lean the second part, expose a weak schedule and put up 30 or more would be my, my thought initially, but I'll have to look into that. Lathan has some hops. Yes, he does. That was impressive. Robbie Robinson, not surprised you stuck around, Robbie, and he went for the good upfront seats. Disappointed KTVB didn't show the last 10 minutes. Was looking forward to that. Yeah, I don't know the details and all that or what happened. Played commercials during the game. Yeah, I didn't see the I rewatched the broadcast on Sunday, and I think it was Sunday. Maybe it was Saturday morning, and I didn't have any huge issues with the parts I saw. But I mean, you should be. I mean, hard to get mad at him when they. I mean, it's better than no coverage at all. So you have to be, thankful they at least tried to stream the game and put it on there. And yeah, that is what it is on that part of it. I think people should be commending KTVB for finding a way to put it on, and I think that probably wasn't the regular season quality, maybe in some parts, but I think that was a first game for everybody, and kudos to KTVB for finding a way to at least put it on. And like I said, kudos to the fans. You wake up, 2 days before game day and the stadium was over half empty and a ton of seats and looked like it was just going to be an empty arena in there for that game, but it filled in. It was over 4,100 and it was loud and it was good. And I'd have to go back and check, and maybe I can do that while I'm on here, but I believe the 4,100 might have been more than like Boise State had when they played there against like Washington State a year or two ago. So I don't know if they put box scores on KenPom. I'll go back and look. I think they played the Downtown Arena semi-home Washington State last year. Let's check this out and see if they have attendance on here. Well, they have the officials, but I don't see the attendance. That's a bummer. But I'm guessing that the 4,100 they had in that game might be more than they had last year when Boise State lost to Washington State. I mean, it was a pretty good crowd in there. So there's Jen C. We talked about you earlier, Jen. Good to meet you. She came out to the James and stopped by and said hello, the winner of our first gift card to Shields from Signature Roofing. We appreciate Jen C for her support. And Washington State attendance was 4,570. Okay, they announced it as more, I guess, but it felt a lot more emptier for that game. And maybe it was because Boise State got off to a horrible start and there wasn't much to cheer about in that one. But overall, maybe they spread out a little more. I don't know. I thought it was a good crowd. I thought that it was good energy. And I thought it was a fun Friday night and then a fun Saturday as well with the football game. And if you're a Boise State fan, you must have had a fun weekend. So, again, unfortunate news on Doug Martin. That was sad to hear yesterday. We played a clip earlier in the show. If you came on late from him on the BNN After Dark show, I'm going to put that whole episode and re-put that up on social media today on our YouTube channel if you want to rewatch the whole hour-long interview with Doug Martin from a couple years ago on BNN After Dark. But tough deal. We're going to talk to Nate Potter today, and he was blocking for a lot of those touchdowns that he scored, and obviously a tough day in the Bronco family today. So we'll see if they. I know they already have it picked out, but I mean, this would be the perfect uniform combo. You see Nate Potter blocking on the left there, but can they go white, blue, which I think they've already done a couple of times this year, but can they? I don't know what the plan was for the uniforms, but for the final scheduled meeting against Nevada for the near future, I think you go retro a little bit. If you could put that retro helmet on there and 22 sticker on the back of the helmets for Doug Martin, I think that'd be pretty cool. But we'll have to wait and see what they do. But again, thinking about the family and everybody and friends and everybody that knew Doug Martin, tragic news. Sorry to hear about that. And a tough one for the Bronco family. And when I got here to Boise, he was already done playing, so I didn't get to cover Doug Martin or know him. Many of you probably knew him better than me or had talked to him before and talked to him a couple of times, obviously, when he came on that show. And then he came back and raised the Blue Chaos flag last year, the year before, I believe. And so but certainly didn't know him very well at all. A lot of you probably do. Let's see. What are we going to have at the James tomorrow? We're working on a couple of really cool guests. I guess I'll say the hope. I can't confirm this yet, but we were hoping to have Dylan Riley and Sire Gaines as the two special guests tomorrow. And maybe I shouldn't have said that yet because it's not confirmed, but we will let you know on social media later today when we confirm it. But we're hoping to have a couple of current football players. We don't have the basketball show tomorrow. Tomorrow is just football. It's at 8:00. That's the problem. So maybe come early and eat at 7 or something and then hang out for the show at 8. But 8:00 is the start time. We'll be out on the patio, the covered patio. We've had it's a perfect spot there, and we'll have there's TVs with football on right there by the bar outside. And the hope is to have Sire Gaines and Dylan Riley in person at the James tomorrow. So we'd love to have you, Melinda. And as always, if you're a paid subscriber, your first drink's on BNN if you come hang out and watch the shows on Tuesdays. So we will be football tomorrow, 8:00. We're working on the special guests. Hopefully will be Sire Gaines and Dylan Riley. And Dylan Riley, 201 rushing yards, just an awesome game for him. And Sire Gaines, I think people are writing him off a little too early as well in terms of what he's got left to prove here, and obviously didn't have the load of carries maybe that he's had in some games. Dylan Riley certainly took care of that, but Gaines still, I think, got in the end zone twice, had that great screen pass, and he's obviously going to be a big time player here as well moving forward. So we're going to get ready to head downtown. Boise State has the press conference at noon. Spencer Danielson at noon. We'll have Nate Potter. We'll have Eric Chenander. And I think I'll ask Eric Chenander about Dan Mullen's comments. Why not? Let's have a little fun today and see if Eric Chenander's in a little spicy mood to fire back, or if he just takes the high road there. But again, we'll stream that live on the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. We fire up the stream about 11:55 a.m. So you can look for us on YouTube, and that'll be Spencer Danielson and the coordinators today. And then Jay Tuss will join me tomorrow about 10:30 after practice. We'll have the giveaway for the Shields gift card, the drawing tomorrow on the show as well. So appreciate you guys. Perfect time to go subscribe to Bronco Nation News. As I said, we're heading down to Las Vegas on Wednesday, and Thursday morning we'll have 4 straight hours of a live stream on Thursday. I know you may not be, a lot of you guys are more football than basketball. I get that, but for you diehard basketball fans, every coach in the Mountain West, Bryce Drew, the new Grand Canyon coach, Ali Farouk-Namesh, the new Colorado State coach, and all the, returning coaches as well, Jared Calhoun at Utah State and Steve Alford at Nevada and San Diego State's Brian Dutcher and Tim Miles. And we've got a schedule. We're going to have every single coach on live on Bronco Nation News. So we're going to talk with all these coaches, talk with Leon Rice, talk to the players, Gordy Presnell, the women's players. 4 straight hours. Going to be a lot of fun. That'll be Thursday morning. So hope you'll join us Thursday. And again, if you can help support our coverage, we'd love to have you subscribe. All kinds of subscriber content coming out. We had like 6 stories posted after the game on Saturday. And we got Mike Prater's column coming again this week. We have Nathan Carroll, his snap count and PFF grade article that'll be coming up today as well. And so if you're a Boise State fan with basketball season starting as well, our 30% off deal right now, $7 a month is all it costs. And you can lock that in for a full year, $7 a month at bronconationnews.com. So a couple of Starbucks one day, you cut those out, and all of a sudden you get all kinds of exclusive coverage at Bronco Nation News. The recruiting coverage, you get Brandon Huffman, the national recruiters, Greg Biggins, Blair Aguayo. I mean, you get all the national guys too from 24/7. So, and Boise State got a big quarterback commit just recently that will be all over at bronconationnews.com as well. Some other targets were on visits. Some commits were on visits. Terrius Favors was in town. Our man Chris Van Sickle's catching up with Terrius Favors today about his visit and where Boise State stands, even though he's getting offers by Georgia and some other schools. Can they hang on to Terrius Favors? That's certainly going to be one that we're trying to connect with him today for. So, Julian, if you're watching in the chat here, make sure he gets back to my man Chris. And we're going to try to set that interview up. And again, that'll be for paid subscribers. So all the recruiting coverage, all the football coverage, all the basketball coverage. Again, by the way, we are the only local outlet from Boise going down to Vegas for basketball media days. So we are excited. There he is. I'll tell him. I knew you'd be watching. Appreciate you, man. Hope you had a great trip to Boise. I know it was an early morning for those guys coming all the way out after their game on Friday night, and with the 1:30 kickoff, tells us right there he's locked in. Well, that's great to hear, and hopefully we can read more about that with Chris. But again, you got to be a paid subscriber for that. Josh and Brentley Fife just subscribed in the last 2 weeks. Great money spent. Appreciate all you do, BJ. Go Broncos. Thank you. Appreciate that, guys. That means a lot. Appreciate that. We're trying to make the content worth it to you, and we are trying to keep expanding as well. I think we have 12 people on the payroll now, and that's expanding. And so whether it's on these shows, the evening shows like tomorrow night or Wednesday with Sanford and Johnny, or the pre and post game shows, and then all the written content you're getting as well. So I'm bullish on what we're providing, but I think it's, in terms of comprehensive coverage, there may be a better story here, a better story there, but overall with the recruiting coverage we have and the database that we have for that, and then the knowledge we have of the former coaches, and throwing Prater in there and what Nathan and Chris are doing, I think that we have a pretty good product. If you're looking, I know money's tight, but if you got one spot to subscribe, hopefully you'll make that Bronco Nation News. And right now, again, 30% off, $7 a month if you want to subscribe. If you're looking to get a Paramount Plus subscription, you can just pay the normal $12.99 a month, and you get Paramount Plus included with that. So that's a great deal too, where it's like 50% off what both of them would cost. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for those of you that already have subscribed. It's been cool to see. And we got some more subscriber giveaways and things we're going to continue to do, like the Shields gift card. I've got some gift cards to the James right here, actually. So if you're if I can pick them up, but we've got about 8 gift cards right here to the James Kitchen and Bar. So if you're a paid subscriber, we'll find a way to give some of these out as well. But perfect time to subscribe. Basketball starting up, basketball, football coverage this week. Big week for BNN. So if you're able to help us out, bronconationnews.com. Although I believe, I don't know if it got fixed or not yet, but part of this outage with Amazon and some of these other sites, it is affecting our site right now. So I don't know if you can get into bronconationnews.com right now, but until later today, hopefully it'll be back up and running, and you can subscribe at that point. So appreciate everybody for watching the show today. Again, as Lisa said, positive thoughts for Doug's family. He will certainly be missed, and we'll continue to get more on that story and do more to remember the legacy and life of Doug Martin here in the near future. So appreciate all you for checking us out. Check out our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like on this video on your way out. Hit that like button. We'd appreciate that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's free. Turn on the notifications so you know when we go live with future broadcasts. And again, tomorrow's show will be a little bit later, probably 10 or 10:30. We'll get it up on social media, probably 10:30 tomorrow with our man, Jay Tust. And after we watch practice tomorrow. So appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. And again, today at noon, we'll have that live press conference with Spencer Danielson and the coordinator. So come on back about 11:55. We'll get that stream going, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bronco Nation News live here in our Meridian studios. Appreciate y'all. BroncoNationNews.com.
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.